You're standing in a clearing in the middle of the Amazon, and there are people all around you, dozens of them, bows lowered but ready, clay on their faces, watching you. One wrong step, and the bows come up. 3 days ago, your plane fell out of the sky. You walked away from the wreck to find help. The tribe found you instead. But the most dangerous part of your week in the Amazon hasn't even started yet. It starts on a clear morning. You're 4,000 feet over the canopy with a camera in your lap. The cabin smells like hot vinyl and fuel. The propeller hums through the floor and into your chest. Sun cuts through the scratched window and lands on the lens you're wiping clean with the hem of your shirt. For a moment, it's the best day of your life. Hugo flies. You bought the coordinates for $2,000 from a man in a bar in Pucallpa, and now Theo rides in the back with a second camera. Lena, the producer, holds the map on her knee. Hugo banks east.
We don't cross that line. There's a tribe in there nobody's supposed to find, and they don't like planes. The last man who flew over low never made it home.
For 9 years, you've been the man behind the camera, carrying other men's bags while their names ran in the credits. This trip is yours. You look at the red line, you look at the fuel gauge, you look at the lens in your lap, you tell him.
One pass, low and slow.
You peel $400 bills off a roll and set them on the dash.
One pass, and we've got something no one on Earth has.
Hugo looks at the money for 3 seconds. Then he banks across the red line. For 90 seconds, it's perfect. The canopy breaks open, and there they are. Clearings, long houses, thin trails of cooking smoke, figures that stop and look up. Hugo tells you to climb, but you want one more pass, and he gives it to you. On that pass, a bird the size of a dog comes off the trees into the propeller. You're filming when the engine coughs. You're filming when it quits. You're filming when Hugo keys the radio. The world turns sideways. Green fills the windscreen. You wake upside down in your harness. Hugo isn't moving. Theo isn't moving. The cabin is folded shut around them. 2 of the 4 of you are dead before you understand the plane has stopped. Lena is alive. Her leg is wrong below the knee, but she's alive. You cut her down and crawl out through the broken windscreen into wet heat and the smell of fuel. The camera lies in the mud, lens up, still recording. You pick it up, you don't need it, you take it anyway. You count what's left. 1 machete, half a survival kit, a satellite phone with 1 bar and 11% battery, and a footprint in the mud at the tree line. Bare, human. Pointing at the wreck, not away from it. The first nightfall, you drag a tarp over Hugo and Theo and tell Lena it's to keep the rain off them. She knows it isn't. You crouch in the broken shell of the plane while the dark comes down. That's when you hear it, a bird call, close and low, past the broken tail. Except it isn't quite right. The notes are a little off, a little too even, like something imitating a bird that has never heard one. Then, from the other side of the wreck, something answers. The same call, then nothing. You sit with the machete across your knees and wait. At first light, you try the phone. You get 1 call out before the battery dies. You don't know where you crashed, the map went down with the plane, so you give them the flight plan you filed this morning. You never flew it. You're 18 miles inside the line you paid Hugo to cross.
Hold position,
The voice says. Then the call drops, and the screen goes dark. You splint Lena's leg with 2 straight branches. She wants to stay, they said. Hold position, someone's coming. You tell her no one's coming to where you are, and whatever you heard in the dark isn't going to wait. She doesn't move. You start walking downstream anyway, and after a minute, she follows. You look back once. At the tree line, something low ducks behind a trunk and doesn't come back out. Something saw which way you went, and it's already ahead of you. Day 2, the river. The bank turns to swamp, so you have to cross. The water is brown and slow, the kind that hides things. You're halfway over, holding Lena up, when the log beside you isn't a log. A caiman, the length of a canoe, rolls up out of the water, close enough to splash you. You shove Lena toward the far bank and throw yourself after her. The caiman's teeth catch your calf on the way past, not a bite, a rake. 4 long tears down the muscle. The survival kit slides off your shoulder and goes under. You don't go back for it. You drag yourselves out with each other, the camera, and the machete. No water tablets, no fire striker, no food. You bind your leg with a strip of shirt and keep the limp to yourself. That afternoon, you hear an engine high, steady, not yours, a search plane. You break into the open and wave, your shirt, the camera, both arms, anything the plane might see. It works the sky in a slow grid and never banks your way, searching 18 miles from where you stand. You watch the rescue work the wrong stretch of jungle for 40 minutes. Then it turns for home. It was looking exactly where you said you'd be.
We should have stayed.
She says. She doesn't look at you. She doesn't say it again. She doesn't have to. You make a dry camp that night. Lena tells you she took this job to fill a quiet apartment her daughter Sophia is with her ex for the summer. She laughs once at how that worked out. You sit with her until she sleeps. Day 3. You walk for hours, and by noon you pass the same fallen tree you passed at first light. You've been going in circles. The river keeps splitting and you keep picking wrong. Every direction is the same green wall. Lena sits down in the mud and doesn't get up.
You pushed for this.
She says. Not loud. True. Theo had a kid. Hugo had grandkids. You wanted a shot. You don't answer, because there isn't one. You get Lena up and push toward the sound of running water. You break through the trees at the bank and stop. Across the river, the ground lifts into a low ridge, and they're standing on it, people. A row of them, clay pale against the green, looking down at you. You count 11 before you stop. They don't hide. They don't come down. They watched you walk to this exact spot, and it lands all at once. The bank that turned to swamp and forced you across. The split in the river that doubled you back. The fallen tree you passed twice in one morning. None of it was the jungle losing you. It was them, turning you one wrong step at a time toward the high ground they stand on now. You back away from the water. A bowstring sings across the river. An arrow buries in the trunk beside your head. The feathers still moving. Not a miss. A fence. The river is closed. The only way left is the way they want you to go. Then they stop waiting. The trees on your side of the bank come apart and they're already on you, fast, low, from 3 sides at once. You get the machete up. A hand catches your wrist before the blade is level and turns it out of your grip. They don't strike you. They don't have to. 4 of them take you, 2 take Lena, and they lift you both off the ground like you weigh nothing. They carry you inward, the direction you've been turned toward for 3 days, and then the trees break open and you're in it, the clearing from the start. The longhouses you filmed from 4,000 feet, the smoke, the trails, close now and real. They set you down in the center and step back, and the ring closes. Dozens of them, bows lowered but ready, clay on their faces, watching you. They take the machete. The camera they leave in the mud, a dead thing can't hurt them. Not one of them is surprised. They've known where you were since the plane came down. They put you and Lena in a longhouse at the edge of the ring, a woman in the doorway who never sits down. Lena's leg is bad red past the knee, hot through the bandage. You crouch beside her, voice under your breath.
Why are we still breathing?
Lena's eyes don't leave the woman in the doorway.
Because they haven't decided yet.
She says. A girl, maybe 10, ducks in and sets a bowl down between you. Roasted fish, mashed plantain, water that's been boiled you haven't eaten in 2 days. You watch Lena take a little, and then you eat. And for a few minutes, warm food, a roof, rain, starting soft on the thatch, it almost feels like you were taken in instead of taken. Lena laughs once, low, at the girl peeking back around the doorframe. They come for her the next night. 4 of them, no sound. The fever has Lena half under, and she barely moves. You fight. You pull one of them off her, then a blow catches you behind the ear, and the room tips sideways. When it steadies, They already have her out the door and into the dark. You hear her call out once, not your name. Sophia's. In the morning, her place against the wall is empty and swept, like she was never set down there at all. Nobody tells you what happened. Nobody has to. The leg, the fever, the sickness she carried into a place that has buried whole families over a single cough. They didn't keep two of you. They kept the whole one. They kept you. For 2 days, they leave you be. A woman brings water and sets it inside the door. You keep the wound wrapped and the limp swallowed. You saw what a bad leg got, Lena. Looking whole is the only thing keeping you on this side of the door she left through. By the second day, the documentarian in you won't switch off. You start watching them the way you came here to close. Patient, cataloging, the women splitting fish, the boys working a bowstring. The few words you've begun to catch. One for water, one for fire, one the girl uses for you. You scratch it into the blank pages at the back of your passport with a sliver of charcoal because some part of you still believes you're carrying it home. Then the wound turns on you. The tears the Cayman left down your calf have gone the way Lena's leg went. The skin red and tight, hot under the wrap, a smell you can't keep covered. You've hidden the limp for days. You can't hide this. The girl brings water at dusk and sees the stain soaking through the cloth. She goes still. She looks at your leg, then at your face. Then she's gone, calling out across the ring. At dawn, they don't bring water. They come for you, the same calm hands, and this time you don't fight. The man with the clay face walks ahead the call you heard the first night by the wreck, the one that was never a bird. They carry you past the longhouses, past the edge of the ring, down a trail to a clearing set apart from the rest. And there's Lena. They've raised her on a frame of lashed branches at the tree line, wrapped, set above the ground, turned to face the forest. She isn't the only one tied there. This is where the sickness goes out past the children, past the fire, to the edge where the forest takes it back. You watch them carry Lena off for a leg like this. You wrapped yours tighter and called yourself the lucky one. Hiding it only ever bought you a few days. You bought the coordinates. You bought the pass. You bought your way in. $2,000 in a Pucallpa bar. $400 on the dash. All of it bought you the one place that will never let you leave. You came to show the world the last people it had never seen. Now you're the one the world will never see again. If you want to see more stories like this one, check out our last video on the cult leader. Click on it, and we'll see you in the next one.